Hi everyone, welcome to another episode. We're on our way. We're getting ready to take a trip, but Lady Gray back here will not be going on this trip. We are going to be taking a trip up to Kentucky and West Virginia. That is where Teresa and I am from. I'm from Kentucky, she's from West Virginia. We shared that with you before, but we're going to be heading up and we're going to try to do some video while we're there. If we can, we'll be taking some photos. It's going to be dark when we're going, so we probably will not be doing that much taping going up. We might try it, we'll see. But then we'll kind of go back through West Virginia. I'll kind of show you where my mom and dad live, and then we'll go through where my grandparents lived and where she grew up at. If we can get all that done this weekend. With the coronavirus, we're not going to go over like where we went to high school and through the community as much as we would if it wasn't for the coronavirus. So I hope you enjoy this journey with us, and do me a favor. Again, people ask how they can help us so much. There is a subscribe button right here. If you would hit that, we'd appreciate it. Also, if you'd give us a thumbs up and hit the bell below when the telecast is over, we'd appreciate it. You'll be reminded of this also at the very end of the telecast. So let's get ready. We're on our way to Mingo County, West Virginia. Hi everyone, we finally made it to Kentucky. That's where we're at this very moment, is in Martin County, Kentucky. Here is my mom and dad's house, as you can see. This is, I'll turn around a little bit, this is where I was brought up. Now the house we live in now, mom and dad built that after all of the kids left, because where we're standing right now, as you see, hill over here, back up there, as we would say, a holler, and this is the main road running through here. But as you see, mom and dad has a nice place to live. They built that after the flood. We had two floods here, one in '77, one in '84. So the Army Corps of Engineers bought their house out and then built them a new house. So that's the reason they have this new house. But I want to take you somewhere real quick and show you, because God, through the process of time, as they would say, we lived in a shack for a while. Mom and dad moved back here when I was a child. We lived in Ohio and a couple other places. Mom and dad moved around a lot at first. But dad moved back here, worked for a company, and then got a job working in the coal mines. Now, I want to go over here very quickly and show you where we used to live until God blessed us. And again, back there's part of the back side of mom and dad's house. Right now I'm walking on my uncle and aunt's property, and if you see this building here, right over in here, there used to be basically a one-room shack. We had to put wallpaper up so people could not, so we couldn't see the wind and feel the snow and stuff come in. And then back over in this direction over here was an outhouse. Now my aunt and them lived through here. Again, over here was a building that we lived in, outhouse close to the river, and we used that outhouse during the day. Then my aunt and uncle left their door open at night so we could go in and use their bathroom. But we went from a place here, again, wallpaper, so the elements from outside would not come in. We had to use a camping stove to cook with. It was me and my mom, my sister, my brother, and myself living in that one little room. We did that for a season. Then the house we just showed you, I remember when we got a trailer, and we lived in a trailer for a season. And then God continued to bless. We got I think it was a Mosler home. It might have been a double wide, I'm not for sure, at that point. Then after that, I will insert a photo right now that we lived in that house after the '77 flood. Mom and dad added on to the house. They had to go in and gut everything after the '77 flood. They had to gut every single thing, and then they added on, and I lived upstairs. Basically, we had a living room with a fireplace, and then my bedroom, and I lived there. But God blessed us. My mom would constantly pray and believe God, and my dad worked his butt off. That's how we got things that we got. My dad worked 7 days a week up until either I stayed back in the 7th grade to play basketball, and either it was my second year in 7th grade for playing basketball, or right when I started 8th grade, my dad finally bought a pop-up camper and said, I've got to spend time with my family. And we started going camping a lot on weekends. But that's a little bit about my life history. We're going to kind of go through and show you where my grandfather and grandmother, my mama, lives real close to us, just right down the road. That's my aunt's house behind me. That's my other aunt's house over there, and uncle. And but we done a lot of camping, and you know, got to spend a lot of time with my dad after that point. But he worked, like I said, he worked his butt off 7 days a week, and sometimes he would be gone when I went to school. He never missed a basketball game, football game, any of our sports stuff. He was always there. He was telling the story a while ago to my son's wife that he would get home at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning and have to get up at 4 o'clock to go to work. But he always supported us, him and Mom both, in any activity that we wanted to play. And they'd always be there. I know we went to the state tournament in '83 and played in Rupp Arena. My dad drove down to the games and would drive back and work. And so he always supported us in those things. But he worked very hard to accomplish what he accomplished. So I'm thankful for that. But we're going to kind of, again, show you where my mama and papa live. Papa's passed away. Awesome man of God. Preached the gospel. Matter of fact, my dad pastors the same church that my grandfather pastored, that was started in my great-great-grandfather's country store. And my mama's still alive. She's 97, I believe. I think she turned 97 this month. And then we're going to swing by and show you where my mom and dad's family's from, Teresa's family's from, and she will be on the video, hopefully on those. My family still owns a mountain over in West Virginia. We're going to head over there in a little bit. I think we're getting ready to order some pizza and eat it before we leave here. So we'll pick it up on down the road. And again, I thank you so much for watching, but we'll talk to you some more in a few moments.
This is the place where Rodney's grandfather's buried.
Cousin. My grandma's
grand old homestead.
Mama, she's 97.
98.
98. I'm sorry. And this is the road that I used to jog and walk all the time.
And across the river there is West Virginia.
Where my mom and my beautiful wife's from.
Kermit, West Virginia, and Rodney wants you to know that in its heyday it was called Little Las Vegas because of all of the drug trafficking.
That was caused here, but also my dad
I think it was a big federal.
Yeah, it was. It was a big federal sting. It was on the national news. Well, we lived in Columbus at the time, and they flew in with helicopters. They had
railroad tracks.
That had stayed, I think, a couple of months, lived in a train,
rail
train, yeah, to videotape everything because the sheriff and the police, fire department, there's a bunch of them involved.
It was local law enforcement was all involved in it, the drug sales.
Now, my dad ran a coal mine over here, so we were allowed to come because people kind of knew they couldn't really mess with us because Dad ran a coal mine up here for Massey Coal Company. And so we will show you that entrance in a few moments. We're getting close to it. We were used to driving this way, but also this is the same road that I took to go to church. At my granny and granddad, which is my mom's dad and mom, they lived going up this road, but also is where I used to go and see my beautiful bride.
It's Mingo County, West Virginia. This is Kermit. The town that I lived in was Lenore, that I was raised in.
There's a road up here. We don't have time to stop today because our son and his wife is with us today. But maybe one time when we come in, we'll drive up to the coal mine. It's kind of been demolished. You can kind of just see some remains of it. But I'll insert a photo of that's Kentucky side. We just came down that side. But here to your left is, if you took a left here, you would go to Kermit Coal, where my dad ran a coal mine. It was down through that way. I'll insert a photo right now. But the road used to go all the way around until they built the bridge we're on now, and you come out right here and shoot left. we will pick you up on up the road here in a few minutes. Okay. My grandparents lived right up here. The house has been shown down. If you'll show to the right, baby, that big field there, that is where they lived. They had a house up there where that cement slab is. And then if she comes back over and goes on this hillside, my family owns that hillside there. So that's all family stuff up there. And then this little church is where me and my wife met. It's all shut down now, so. But that's a little bit of the family history. Just wanted you to know. Get you on up the road.
We're coming into the town of Lenore.
One stoplight.
Which was not here when I was a child. And try to
There.
get
It's the old school years ago.
Lenore High School, which is just
Ran down now.
This is so many memories in this town.
We're getting close to a road that used to lead over to where you're from. Where you live.
I
Your
was
family
from,
is.
if anybody's from the Mingo County, West Virginia area, it was called Parsley Bottom. And the house that we lived in, I think, was flooded many years ago, and it's been removed, and another home was built in the area, so I can't show you that.
But your grandmother, we'll point to the area. That's where her grandmother lived.
But I am.
And her uncle.
My maiden name is Maynard, and my uncle is a pastor of a big church, Baptist church, Little Dove Baptist Church in the area. So the family land was there in Parsley Bottom.
We're getting a little closer, aren't we? Because you went right beside a train track to get to your house.
Well, the train track was behind the house. You
But
went
when the
across
road was,
it was a single lane bridge.
is it? Do you take this road to get over to them now?
I think so, yeah. Parsley Bottom Road. This was not the route you took.
Right here. You take that to get over to our old home. And
There used to be
we'll go slow. I think your grandmother's house is still there, correct?
I'm not sure. Yeah. No.
Okay.
This was where the bridge wasn't. Yeah, that's the old homestead. The white.
And you lived right beside them.
Yep.
So, it's a little bit of our history.
To school.
Check this camper out, folks.